Hello, I want to make a very quick video about this upcoming banners happening this midweek and just sort of talk about the two cards coming out, which is Kawakami Princess and Fine Motion. So without further ado, let's get started. So if you have Kitsuna Black or any other SR speed cards along with Kitsuna, this card isn't very desirable. Sure, it has 10% race bonus, so for making new track or track blazer, it will be pretty decent, but I just don't see much value in her. You're better off borrowing Narita Top Road, which would be a fantastic overpowered card for just making a new track, but it's very powerful nonetheless. Now, I rather talk about the most important card coming out this week, which is Fine Motion. So, a little backstory before I talk about Fine Motion is when I used to play games like Epic 7, way early on, the meta was making your characters as fast as possible. For example, Judge Kisei, she was a light character and she would do an AoE attack on you. So if she went first, you're pretty much screwed. But I always thought that, well, if I can't outspeed you, I'm just going to out HP you. So I made my characters very tanky, high defense, high effectiveness and effectiveness resistance. That way you can't debuff me and you can't kill me. And once you use up all your turns trying to kill me, my turn comes and I kill you. Now that didn't always work out that way because way back then it was very hard to make super tanky characters. So most cases than not, the faster you are, the higher chance you will win. However, Fine Motion is one of those cards that she could be used anywhere, for front, for pace, for late, or for end closer. She has super good support effects. I'm not going to read all of it because I'm sure people have read this a million times. There's no need, but it's right here. Her hints are amazing. She gives you 3 greens, straight away, nimble, and the only skill that's for a certain playstyle is Pace Chaser and Speed Star, but everything else is universal. And so if you are end closer, she's great. If you're late, she's amazing. If you're pace, wonderful. If you're front runner, that's perfect, right? She can be used anywhere. There's no need to be fixated on like, well, is she going to be good? The same thing can be said about Current Chan. Sorry, not Current. I was thinking of Current Chan, the wit card. Yeah. For example, her. She is a wit card too, but she's mainly for sprint. You're not going to use her for a mile, medium, or long race course for Champions Cup. She offers you nothing. The only thing she has is pretty decent effects and priority of 65. That's huge, but she's not worth it. She is the top 3 in terms of most used, but you're better off using Marvelous Sunday or Agnes Tachyon or Daiwa Scarlet or even Nice Nature. The SR, that's very strong too, but it's also a late surger card. But those cards have higher potential than borrowing Current Chan. So if you have to borrow something, it'll be Fine Motion. But I recommend pulling for it because you don't really want to have to borrow her for Make a New Track or for other scenarios, especially if you sort of have not so good picks for Guts or Speed or Wit card. So if you're free to play and you only have 30,000 carats and you have 0 copies of her, maybe you should skip out on her because she will return at a way later point, probably 6 months down the road. This could be like a mid-September to, where is she? I did see her before, right here. Because Marzensky comes out, I think in August, or sorry, not August. I think in June or July, we're getting her sort of similar timeline, but she's coming out in maybe September, maybe October. I don't know if the dates really coordinate exactly like to us, but that's a long time to wait. You don't want to wait that long. I think you should pull for her now and avoid the headache later. But if you have 30,000 carats, I don't think you should pull for her unless you really want to try your luck. And if you have 2 rainbow crystals, which you should have if you've been playing since they introduced it, you could get 1 copy of her and then LB to it. not very strong as LB2. LB3 is in a way better position, and obviously MLB is super strong, but I would desperately recommend that you should LB3 it. That is the lowest you can go. You can't afford to use LB2 or LB1. Just not a chance in the slightest. And if you're pure free to play and you don't buy the supporter packs for selected tickets, that's okay. You just have to weigh your options in. You might get lucky and you might pull 3 copies of her in one pity. Fantastic. Then you can use her rainbow crystals and MLB her, and she's very good card. She has a huge lifespan. She will not die until like end of this year. At that point, other wick cards will outshine her, but right now she's super huge. She has a huge lifespan, like Kitsuna Black. Kitsuna Black is still good right now and for next scenario, but she will eventually get replaced. It's gonna happen pretty soon, and just like Fine Motion, it will happen at some point, but she still has 6+ months of lifespan. She's not gonna go away anytime soon. If you have 60,000 carats, yeah, you should pull for her. The chance of you getting her MLB in 2 pities is pretty high, and I think you got a good shot. You can always borrow NTR, or you can always borrow Admira Vega. You could use Kitsuna Black and sweep Tosho, and then use 2 Guts card, 3 Guts card, and then 2 Wit cards. And your Wit card could be Fine Motion and a borrow, or you can borrow NTR because now you have Fine Motion, so you can sort of change your deck style that can work out to be stronger for the next scenario. So that's just my little one-on-one talk about Fine Motion. She's good for any style. She's not just, for example, Mr. CB, where are you? She is mainly end closer. I'll talk about her when she comes out, but purely end closer. She's not going to be used for anything else, just end closer. Fine Motion, however, will be used for every single style, no matter what, and her lifespan will last until the end of this year. So if you have the carrots for it, and if you have your 2 rainbow crystals, go pull for her. If this video helps you out, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and just let me know if I'm right or if I'm wrong, or if I left out some details. I'm always happy to be corrected, or at least informed on what I'm missing out on. Take care, everybody. Peace.